You want it to be like in your mouth. Yeah.
If you need to make it higher, though, that knob that the headphones are like hanging on, we'll adjust that up.
Headphones. What's the thing for that?
What's that?
Why is Davey doing headphones?
To make sure that we have audio.
It's a style thing, bro.
Style points.
Yeah, it's just
You can do
to.
headphones if you like.
We're live right now, by the way.
Try them out. What do you think?
Well,
Can you hear it through the
censor that.
headphones?
Do you hear it? Why don't you try
Make
it?
some noise.
Hello,
Make some noise out of your mouth.
Jesse. Can you hear me? He's
Are
gone.
you guys talking?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
He's gone deaf and dumb.
I can hear.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he started dumb. He went deaf.
All right. I think I've had enough of these headphones.
All right. Here we go. Just started.
Hello, hello.
Hold on one sec. I gotta be able to
Send
share
it.
this.
Oh.
Send the link out.
Would somebody want to bring this up on YouTube? Make sure that there's
Yeah,
audio
doing it right now.
on the show.
Welcome to Amateur Hour.
Yeah, say it. Go, take it.
Thank you for joining in. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.
It's a show about skiing and surfing and technical difficulties. It's often on mute. It's our second go at episode 1. And we'll see how it goes. What's up, Ryan?
Not much. Just tired. Kind of sore from surfing the other day with my back, but it's on the mend. Feeling a little better today.
What happened?
It was on like one of the waves. I like kind of fell back, and the way I was like flexed and fell, it just like pulled something in my kind of like upper neck back area. And yesterday it was kind of hard to look at my toes. Today felt a little better.
Look at your toes like this, huh?
Yeah, or even just like looking down to
Oh.
get crumbs off my t-shirt, you know?
Dude, you know what I do now when I have that? I take a healthy dose of ibuprofen. Helps a lot.
I did that day 1.
Yeah.
I didn't do that the second day though.
I can't take ibuprofen. I am very allergic. Last time I took it,
really?
it broke, yeah, I get these like bubbly little like blisters that then I pick at.
Do you take Tylenol then for a headache?
Yeah, I can take Tylenol.
What's your go-to painkiller?
I don't really take painkillers because like usually I feel like unless you're getting like the good stuff that's like a narcotic painkiller, I feel like no painkillers really touch any pain, like any amount of pain I would have to the point where I'm like I would want to take something to make it go away. At that point you're talking like hospital level pain.
What about
you
a
know?
headache?
I just deal with the headache. I don't take Tylenol or
You don't take
because it doesn't do anything.
I'm taking Tylenol all the time for headaches. Not all the time. I mean, whenever I get a headache. If I get a headache, dude, I'm taking Tylenol, ibuprofen
And it
right
works?
away. Yeah, dude, it makes the headache go away and I'm happy.
I don't know. Maybe my body's just conditioned because I've thrown so many other things at it. Maybe it just like those sort of things don't work. But like
Yeah.
I've never had any luck with.
I feel
Tylenol.
like not taking them regularly is probably a good thing.
No, I
Yeah.
think they're like vitamins, dude. I think you're supposed to take them
The only thing I'm big into
twice a day.
that
But
I
even,
probably
like-
do too much of is like if I have a cold, I'm drinking the NyQuil until the cold's completely gone. Like I'm a huge fan of like NyQuil at night.
And Dayquil day, dude.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
no
Like, if
But
way.
not for the Tylenol, just for the effects of like, well, you know, like it helps with your sore throat and then knocks
agree,
you out.
dude.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it keeps your nose isn't snotty. Like, it probably makes it like that's how your body's getting rid of the germs. So maybe it's not as effective.
Now the
But
worst
you're less miserable.
is when you have a bad cold and you have to go to work, but you don't have any Dayquil. You just have NyQuil, and then you take a bunch of NyQuil, and then you have to counteract it to try to stay awake
No, that's crazy.
with
dude.
a lot of coffee.
That's crazy. I'd
Yeah.
go to Vaughn's and just get some Nyquil, some Target, get some Up and Up brand Dayquil.
No, once you fight through like
You
the
need
first
those
30
uppers,
minutes,
bro.
you're fine. It's just
Aren't you loopy though, dude? Aren't you like foggy and hazy?
no, not really.
Even Dayquil makes me hazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like I guess when I'm sick enough to want to take that stuff, I'm already in like a little bit of I get brain fog when I get sick like that, dude.
Worse than normal, or
Yeah. Like, that's just a light haze. I'm talking, this is dense fog.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Most of, but like pain, like outside of like a prescription pain med, Tylenol, those do absolutely nothing for me. So I just deal with the headaches when I get them, or the super sore necks like the one I have.
All right, I'm sending it out.
Nice. You know what else I would do? Try if I were you, Ryan? Dealing with it.
Yeah.
I do deal with it. It's kind of my go-to method.
Walk it off. Be
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, it's just a stinger.
I mean, actually, the best way I have actually learned is just to keep kind of doing it, and it sucks for like a couple of days, but then, it gets better. So,
So everybody
goes
out there
on.
with a stiff neck, it gets better.
It gets better.
Isn't that
dude.
the campaign for like gay kids in school?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
If you've got a
it's
stiff
lot of
neck,
people's campaigns,
it gets
dude.
better.
It gets better.
Okay,
Or it doesn't.
it
All
always
right.
does.
We're
What's up with you, Jay?
No, not a whole lot. Just normal fatherly duties, ferrying Maddie around to Taekwondo, and
How is that? What do you
Dance
do when
and-
she's in there?
I just chill. I went and got some lunch while she was at Taekwondo, and then I watched a replay of the Warriors game while she was at dance.
Two things at once. I want to avoid that in my life, dude.
What's that?
I want my girls to do one thing at once.
Oh,
You know, one thing at a time.
I don't know. I think it's cool to let your kids like figure out what they like.
I mean, it is cool, but I want to avoid it if I can. I'd like to be like, we get one organized.
I don't know.
thing
I
in
guess
your
I
life.
go back and forth between grumbling about like how much it slices one of my days off, and then thinking about like, oh, like I don't know. My parents took us around to all sorts of activities, and
Well,
I look back on that
we
time
had
like,
quotas. Do you remember? You had to be. I was just telling Lizzie this. There's a certain point where you had to be in a sport, an art, and play some music.
you did music. Oh yeah, you did
you
piano.
guys also had a reading quota too.
And look how we turned
Did
out.
we?
Remember?
Yeah,
turned out
I think
great.
It turned out just fine.
But I also say that, but then I know how it goes. Like if they want to do something, you're not going.
What are you gonna? Yeah, what are you gonna say?
you
Like,
just
no,
can't
you
do
can't
it.
do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not hyping anything up after one is checked off. You know.
I mean, it does suck
What
a
about,
little
like,
to be like the
swimming?
only dude there. It's very clear that most of the people at like
For dance.
no, for both, for Taekwondo, for dance, it's usually all the moms because like
Mm.
this is probably like rich North Orange or it's like rich Tustin moms who don't work, and here I am in my Camry, showing up.
Yeah, you should
So-
be flexing the Audi, dude.
Do you like jangle the watch in front of? The
Yeah,
moms?
I almost hit someone in the face today, trying to like show them it.
Random stranger.
But
All right. Well,
Tight.
we got the whole crew here, and we've gone live out to the interwebs, and hopefully we got audio. Davey's testing the levels, but if we have any new listeners or watchers joining, welcome to Amateur Hour. Did we tell you that we changed the name, Jesse?
amateur hour.
It's called Amateur Hour.
Hey, wait,
now.
hold on. Though you kind of just interrupted us.
I
We were just talking.
I lost interest.
Oh, I thought you were looking at me. I'm like, he
no,
asked
no,
me a
Jake
direct
did.
question.
I know. We were in here talking, and then Jake's like, "All right."
Well, we got the link out now. Do you want to like officially start the show, or do you just want to roll?
No, I think we started. We did an intro. Ryan said, "This is
Yeah.
Amateur Hour."
Okay, but we didn't have anyone. Who
He
did we
did.
send it out to?
Oh,
We
what do you
started it, dude, and we've been talking, and we've been like,
Yeah,
you
we
were just
didn't-
busy linking up and not listening. I
Yeah.
think.
Well,
You
sending
were-
out the link to hopefully.
You were.
No, I know,
watchers,
I know,
yeah.
but now it's your turn to talk about catching up.
Yeah, we were all.
Okay.
We were already
Okay.
live.
Carry on.
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing fatherly duties, but you also skateboarded today.
I did. Yeah, I went to Volcom. Everyone keeps asking me, why don't you go to like the skate park? Lake Forest has got like a huge skate park, and I was like, I feel like I'm at an age where I can't. I'm not interested in. I tried one time. I went to the Tustin skate park, and I ate so much shit there because it's like totally unfamiliar to me. I just decided I'm just gonna stick with what I know. I have like a few lines I can usually complete.
Dude,
Flow.
You got to tell me when you go there because I'll bring the girls and we can watch you.
Oh yeah,
They'll
you're
be
yeah,
they'll be
you're close
pumped.
by.
Yeah.
Today there was a couple like young, I think they were Japanese, like semi-professional maybe, like sponsor, like probably sponsored, like kids who were like between 10 to 17, like a whole pack of them, and one of them tried to motion me out of the way, and I refused to move. I'm pretty chill at this point at the skate park, but if you like just brush or like wave at me, like you're not gonna get a whole lot of cooperation. So he had to stomped and snorted while I like didn't move, and then I moved finally, and he did his little kickflip to front board on the rail.
It looks sick.
It did, but
Is the line that you're doing at the Volcom skate park transitioning from one pool to flat?
it
and another
interferes.
one?
It interferes with anyone trying to do a stair set. Yeah, because I'm like going down around the bend into the pool, out of the pool, and he's coming this way to do the stair set, and he did the whole. And I went.
Is etiquette at the Volcom skate park just line up, like just wait your turn?
I don't know. I try to be. If he hadn't waved at me and I just saw him coming, I would have moved. It was the wave that got me to plant and stay put because I didn't like the dismissive like wave. So I was like, no, now you're gonna have to wait. But had he just started skating towards me, I totally would have moved out of the way.
Wait. So what happened? So you stood there and you played dumb for a little bit, or something?
No, I just stared at him for like 30 seconds, and he just
30 seconds.
yeah.
That's
And then
like
I
Skate
this.
park standoff.
But I don't know. For the most part, I've mellowed out there. Like it's that park's filled with like tons of like 4 to 8 year olds just like running rampant,
Sweet.
constantly getting in the way. So I've taken some pretty good bails.
They
last
need like
few
a
months.
kids park there.
Avoiding. It's cool. I've reached an age where like that. Even if I take a rough fall trying to avoid like smashing a kid, I don't get mad at the kid. I just kind of laugh.
Yeah. But
That's what it is.
It is like crowded with kids though, and it would be cool if they had like kind of like a separate dedicated kids.
Yeah, they're
area, it
actually
seems like.
rebuilt, or they're gonna expand the whole park supposedly. But
Sweet.
yep, took a couple bad falls or just
Do you wear
pretty
full
good
pads?
slams. No pads, no helmet.
No
No
helmet.
helmet.
No, I don't. I'm not
Dude.
trying anything. I don't
You have
already.
a daughter.
You are just a car. It is car sales. You could probably slam.
I don't know.
Times
It's.
and-
I feel so much more comfortable skating without a helmet, knowing that like I'm almost certainly not gonna like mess up my head than I would snowboarding.
I was gonna say, how would you compare skating without a helmet to snowboarding without a helmet?
Here's the thing: if I was trying a bunch of things skating, like I've reached a point in my skating career where I'm not trying anything I haven't done a million times before. So like, I will take some bails, but I won't ever take I haven't even come close to even barely tapping my head on the ground since my time back. Like nowhere close. So,
Take
I mean,
it easy.
but
Well, good luck with that,
yeah.
Jake.
Thank you.
Our resident safety advisor on the panel, our ski patroller, advises that you wear a helmet. I think.
Yeah, wear a helmet, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
Take it easy.
I mean, if I was getting back into like the bigger bowl, I probably
Maybe
would.
that can be the tagline for Amateur Hour. Amateur Hour. Take it easy.
Take it easy,
Honestly, I'm more
always,
interested in
always.
investing in a pair of knee pads than a helmet.
Well,
But
Is that because you might have to get on your knees and milk it from time to time?
exactly.
Dude,
Take
so
it
hey,
easy.
when you hear one of the craziest things I've seen at that skate park is I was hanging out with the girls. We were watching the kids like skate it. There were a bunch of like junior high age groms there, like a pack of like 10 of them, and they all lined up around the top of one of the bowls there, and one of them went down into the middle. I was like, what is going on? And all the kids at the top took their skateboards and flung them down into the bowl. And the kid down at the bottom just had to stand there while they all came and just
And, like,
hit his ankles.
Eat the ankle.
And then he just broke down crying, like, immediately like, oh.
Do you
I
think
like,
it was a
"Dude,
TikTok trend?
this seems like such a dumb thing that I like could see us doing something similar like that when we were younger.
A park ranger, I think maybe I told you, a park ranger was viciously assaulted with a skateboard there, and ever since they've stopped trying to like ticket people. Apparently during COVID, there was like a rogue lady who was like, you know how Costa Mesa Police has the park ranger unit?
No, I know this woman.
And okay, yeah, this rogue lady, and they had been aggressively ticketing people during COVID, and they did that long before, where like cops would roll up like a drug bust, one on this side, and like try to box in the park, and then the kids would scatter, and they'd be hopping over the fence and running, and eventually they'd trap a few of them in there and then write them tickets. Well, this lady kept up this like rogue activity during COVID, and I guess some like 17 or 18-year-old kid, she tried to like collar him for a ticket, and he grabbed the board and smashed her on the head with his trucks, and she like went down like a sack of potatoes. And after that, the city put the kibosh on it, and like, this isn't worth, like, it's not worth dealing with these like criminal kid, or like, and they just, I haven't seen a single cop since I've been back trying to like, or a park ranger trying to like ticket people for helmets.
I think that's the woman who told me I was going to be arrested for walking my dog at the park during like the height of COVID.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. Maybe you caught her on her like run up to become an authoritarian park
Dude,
ranger.
I was like out for a walk, and I was like a little bit buzzed too, but it's like I was walking, so who cares? And dude, I remember she harassed me. It's like I was so tired of everything getting shut down and stuff, and like the girls, Gemma couldn't go to the playgrounds, and I was like, "What do you?" She's like, "You can't be here." I was like, "What are you talking about? There's nobody around here. Let me just be here." She's like, "You can't be here." And I was like, "What are you going to do about it? If like, what if I just stay here?" She's like, "You'll be arrested." And I was like, "You're going to arrest me for doing this?" She's like, "Mm-hmm." And I was like, and then I thought about it. I was like, "Oh, but what, like, if they really do arrest me, what happens this summer in this situation?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm just going to walk away and leave." But
Well, she got her comeuppance.
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't want to say that. But we'll move on, I guess.
Yeah. Actions have consequences.
Jake, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. I've been recently getting back into surfing and climbing, which have been off of the table for me for probably, I don't know, the last like half year from an ankle injury. And it has been a wonderful time to get back into surfing. We've missed you the past couple of days, though.
Yeah.
Jesse, what about tomorrow? We might get a Jesse showing. The
That
surf,
sounds so promising.
We've had quite a fun run of surf.
Yeah, Jesse, you should come tomorrow. It'll be fun.
We'll see. I'm so sore from the skate park.
It could be what ails you, a little bit of saltwater healing.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
But the surf has been really fun, and it has been enjoyable to kind of surf again. There's been multiple braiding opportunities at Huntington State, so it's been fun to surf, and then really fun to do a little bit of climbing again. Maybe this winter we can link up for some climbing as well. But
Where have you been climbing?
I had a day out in Joshua Tree. That was really fun. We went out to see some live music with a couple of our friends, with Chad and Lizzie came, and Mike Newmaster and some other people, to see a show out in the desert, and snuck a little bit of climbing in. And that was my first day climbing in like, I don't know, first serious day of climbing in maybe like half a year.
Dang.
And it felt pretty good. And then I just got back from Vegas and climbed a little bit in Red Rocks, and it felt fine. I was telling David actually the other day, it feels like it might be better than it was after the first surgery even.
Well,
so
I'm
I'm encouraged.
Like some wisdom sometimes, and like when you do something like as long as you have like climbing, like sometimes just giving your like it was for you, it was forced, but like having your body, like the muscle, all that stuff that's been beaten down year after year after year, you just have like a protracted break. It's probably not bad for your
Yeah,
system.
I gave it a really long break, like a year.
Wait, really?
I mean, I stopped climbing that much last September. Like I quit my gym membership
Oh, I didn't.
and I started skiing way more and just not really climbing.
Oh,
Yeah, or you think like your finger joints and stuff are gonna be happy for it?
Oh, I had such an embarrassing finger injury this summer. It was when did you come over? I was doing this like big dinner before this lifeguarding event, the Quest. Did you come over for that?
I was there.
Yeah. Okay.
Were you
And
carbo loading?
we were carbo loading and like had all these like lifeguards over, like feeding them like pasta dinner. Yeah, that's right. You were helping a bunch.
Yeah.
And I forget even who it was, but some like kids in the garage were like, "Oh, this climbing wall is so sick." And I had this moment. I knew it as I was doing it that it was a mistake. But they were looking at the hangboard. They're like, "You can like hang on those things," and I was like, "Yeah, it's not that hard." And I hadn't been climbing and like
Watch this.
and yeah, exactly. And I hadn't been climbing or training at all. And I didn't even do a pull up. I think I just tried to hang on like a small pocket, and instantly I heard something like pop in a finger and like instant pain. And I was just like, damn it, like I'm not even climbing. And I was like, well, I can't even do anything anyways for a while. I'm having surgery in like a month and a half. It probably doesn't matter. So it has felt fine these last couple of
those
climbing
finger
days.
injuries at the pop I had at the gym took a solid year to feel 100%.
But was it the pop or the frostbite that got you? Do you remember you used that?
Oh, that fucked it up too. But 2 fingers. Whatever happened to this one was horrific. The pop I heard through the Bluetooth on my headphones, like a loud pop, instant pain. That took like 6 to 9 months before it felt 100%. And then whatever I did to this finger took almost a year. I mean, I didn't go to the doctor. I just waited for it to stop hurting. But it was fucked for a long, long time.
Fingers are tough.
Yeah, I thought
just-
there was a while where I just figured, I was like, it may just be a fucked up finger for life. But finally,
Yeah.
over the last few months, I've stopped noticing that it feels the same.
I got a fucked up finger. It's okay, dude.
A crook finger.
Yeah.
Well,
It
now
is
you're ready to
crooked,
get
though.
back surfing, Jay. Remember, you weren't surfing because of that.
I wasn't ever not surfing the finger only for like a month. I wouldn't have been able to climb for a long time. How painful it was, but no, I'll surf. I'll try to surf before Refugio.
He surfs.
He surfs
I just
before Refugio next year.
yeah. I did fit in one day between Refugio last year and Refugio this year, but
I'm not buying it.
I did. I went down with you guys to Mags. We saw Brandon.
That's Jesse. Do you know how crazy that is? That the one time that you came and surfed in like years, we run into that guy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him since.
And I said, Brandon's there. And David said, I don't want to talk to him, and paddled away.
I don't think so.
Yeah. And then eventually you circled around.
And
No.
This was like a month after Refugio last year. We went down to Mags. We met up.
I don't remember this. Was I there?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy would say, I don't want to talk to him. I've never said that.
Okay. You didn't say that in front of him. I just said, Brandon's over there. And you're like, oh, cool. Or I don't want to talk. And then,
Oh, cool. Might have been more.
it's
Well,
okay.
it-
I don't think he's watching. It's not a big deal.
Although, Brandon, if you are watching, we thank you for your viewership.
Yeah,
And please
thanks.
like and subscribe.
But yeah, I'll try to fit in more days. Tomorrow might not be the best day. I can't turn more than 15 degrees in either direction.
Yeah, you're going to
And
start.
my lower back is on fire.
Do you want an ice pack?
No, I'll be fine. No, I'm fine.
Okay.
What about some turmeric?
How about some Tribena?
What's that?
Say what?
Have you
Say
ever had
what?
Tribena?
No.
Yeah.
But judging by the smiles, I don't think I want
What
it.
is Tribena?
Tribena, man.
That's funny. Okay, use that.
Yeah, yeah, we could try that, I guess.
High dosage.
How you been,
Dude.
Ryan?
I've been good. I was telling Davey, the last time we surfed, I pulled my neck, like a muscle on my neck, and that's been kind of bothering me the last couple of days. But other than that, I'm leaving for Florida on Friday. Gonna go work on some yachts, see what that industry is all about.
Yep, have fun with that.
I applied for below deck and We'll see if I make it.
Is that a coveted position below deck?
No, hopefully
Do they
I do
shovel
not want
coal?
to be below deck. No, I want to be above deck.
But you asked for below deck.
He's a below deck brother.
Brian's gonna show up and find he's just been hired for a porn shoot. He's not cleaning any yachts.
You're blowing deck right now.
Blowing deck.
Not below deck. Blowing dick.
He's gonna be and arrested on the protest. We're here. We're queer. We want to get married on the ocean. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you done that before? Or no.
No.
Oh,
Never.
okay.
It'll be a trial period.
So it's just cleaning like the inside of boats, the outside. What like?
Yeah. So I'll be essentially a deckhand. For what that means, I don't really know. It sounds like I will be, maybe doing some like refurbishing, whatever like boat projects that they have that they need to get done before their next season starts.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna be their laborer.
What about June?
June doesn't start until late December.
Oh. Oh, okay. So you're not abandoning June. It's just
No,
this
no,
is
no.
to like
Yeah, this is just like
Bridge
to
the
fill some
gap.
time.
cool.
/ see my girlfriend.
What a
she'll be
call in
working.
life, dude. If you could lifeguard in the summer.
That's
yacht
what you need to
cruise
do.
in the fall.
Ryan,
Short
that's what
season
you
in
need to
the-
try to you need to build some connections there and try to figure out how to get on like a crew for the summer. Those
Yeah.
jobs pay well.
I know they do.
They pay real
That's
well.
what Jade's
That's what
been
my
doing,
girlfriend
right?
does.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There's a guy that runs a YouTube channel where he kind of like chronicles what it's like being on, I don't know if it's a billionaire, but obviously some really rich guy's yacht, and he's part of the crew and like dispelling like the misconceptions and like, because it looks like they have a lot of fun, but then it also looks like
Yeah.
a
dude.
ton of work.
But
It
then
looks
there's a
like
bunch
too
of
much
hard labor
work.
below deck.
There's some things that it seem pretty hard, you know.
How hard?
Just like
Well, it's like boat maintenance.
Just
So it's like
manual
it's like
Yeah, I don't know about
sanding,
deckhands.
fiberglass work. Like
I wouldn't
all
last
that
a day
sorts
on
of
a
stuff.
yacht.
wash downs.
No, and everything has to be like perfect and like minutely detailed, like
done
cleaning.
once.
Like
You
yeah,
do it one time.
I have a great mini segue or story regarding yachts. Do you remember when I used to work for Wayne?
I do.
So I used to, when I was 21, I got a job with this guy at a catamaran shop off 19th Street where he had this giant,
Here in Costa Mesa.
he had a
right?
giant yard, and his dad, who is a Japanese, like really old Japanese guy, built catamarans, and he was mostly blind, but he was a mean, he was a mean son of a bitch. So I got a job cleaning up the boatyard on the summer, and he also had a separate concierge service for rich people where he went to their house, cleaned the house, went to their yachts, cleaned the yachts. So all summer long I'm cleaning catamarans, and I happened to be pretty loaded that summer.
not financially.
No, on a
influence
cocktail
like,
of
under the influence.
medications, and his old dad, who was this master catamaran builder, had macular degeneration, so he was blind. He could only see like this, and he didn't like, I don't think he liked like white people because he had been in internment camps,
Oh no.
and he definitely didn't like me and my friend, and so he would like try to hit us with his broom while we cleaned, but he, as long as you stayed in his peripheral view,
Wait,
he couldn't hit you.
what-
He'd like
what friend
swipe the
was
broom
this?
at you. What?
What friend was it?
Matt Fiddler.
Oh,
But anyways, one day Wayne was like, I need you to start going down to these people's yachts and at the Bay Club and clean up after the parties. And he's like, I need you to clean the whole yacht, like do everything. I remember I'd go down there. The fridge was loaded with tons of alcohol from the night before, and I just crack open a bunch of cold ones and start cleaning this yacht. And Wayne said, he's like, make sure you clean all the isinglass. And I remember stumbling out of the yacht and like trying to wipe, and I was like, what's isinglass? And there was a guy on the yacht next to me. I was like, hey, where's the isinglass and all this? He's like, it's right there. It's the see-through. Like, I was like, gotcha. All right, thanks. But yeah, I was after a couple times on the boat, I was like, I don't think I'm cut out for the yachting life.
too detailed, dude.
No,
You're-
I don't
It'll
know
be
if the
interesting.
boat was any
I'm
cleaner.
definitely curious. I learned a new way to fold clothes already, and it's honestly pretty revolutionizing.
relative to like for
Like the
a yacht.
way, yeah, like Jade learned it, and then she passed on the wisdom to me. but it like folds everything into a nice little package, and then it's like holds solid too the way you tuck it in,
Huh.
so it like doesn't unravel.
That's how they
itself.
fold the stuff on the yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
And it-
taken to folding your own clothes in this
Oh, I
revolutionary
did.
way?
Yeah,
Really?
I did. Yeah,
You did, or you currently do?
I'm doing it, and like all my clothes are packed that way.
I don't know if I would like that. Like, I don't know if I'd want, like when I'm at a hotel, I don't like room service to come into my room at all while I'm there. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe once or twice if it's a long vacation, but I don't like them going in there daily.
I agree. I just let the hotel slowly get more and more out of control, and I even when I'm down to my last towel, I still
they
put
would
no
never
service.
let
I
that
mean-
happen. The moment you leave the room,
Re-
they're like, he's left the room. Go in there.
Wait, on the
And then they're going in there and they're like, okay, what has he touched? Like, okay, I gotta clean that. I gotta get this. Okay, make the bed a little nicer. Like,
wait,
we're
is she
steaming the
actually
bed.
going out on these voyages?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, she's a full-time stewardess.
Does she get? Is it true? Like I've heard after the trip, they tip the whole crew,
Yeah,
and depending on who is on the boat, sometimes the tips are pretty like massive.
yeah. They usually like it's a
Who's
a
the most
owner.
famous person that she's sailed with?
No, so it's
Nelly
just the
Furtado?
owner. It's just the owner's boat. The owner is like a Texan, and he will let.
Is it Mark Cuban?
I can't name any names, but I can neither confirm nor deny.
Is it Tim Duncan?
Is it Paul Wall?
Again,
It's Paul Wall, isn't
It's
it?
Paul Wall. It's Paul Wall.
Ryan
Yeah.
shows up to Florida.
He-
Why are you wearing a grill?
yeah, he only lets his homies on, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Only business companions, so it's not like random guests.
Gotcha.
So they do tip it, but since it's like a private, it's not known for like necessarily tipping as much.
I
But
see.
she still walks away with some really great tips after each trip.
That's awesome.
Um,
And then is the pay pretty
yeah,
fair?
plus salary, plus medical.
Oh
plus,
wow!
Plus expense, like
Plus, you're not
no-
spending money, right?
Yeah, no rent,
And the
and
food's covered.
and they're feeding you. Not only are they feeding you, but they provide your meals, so you don't even have to think about your meals.
Oh, the chefs on
The
the
chef
boat
just makes
make-
your meals.
You
And
know-
you're like, you know what? I think I'll actually have some leftovers. Actually, I don't want your dinner.
And then do you sleep in shifts?
Yeah,
Where it's like because obviously outside of the captain, I imagine some other aspects of the crew are awake at.
yeah.
all-
If the guests are awake, it's like one stewardess has to be awake, and then there's always, I think, a person on. Like if they're underway, then there's always a person on the bridge.
Like on iceberg watch.
Yeah, or just always on the bridge, like ready to do anything.
That's crazy.
This was. I wonder what was it? Was she there for the hurricanes?
She wasn't. No.
Oh, okay.
She flew back August 1st, or no, October 1st.
Gotcha.
So she missed all of them. And she was also in the Northeast.
Oh, okay.
Most yachts go either to the Mediterranean or to the Northeast.
Whoa.
Wait,
dude,
so
going
she-
transatlantic would
So
be
she's
so
doing
sick.
transatlantic stuff.
They could, but her boat is not big enough.
Okay.
So she does have aspirations of doing that though, of like wanting to get onto a boat that does that.
So I wonder what. I don't know anything about boating. Like, is it all size of boat that determines whether or not you can do transatlantic? Just the sheer amount of
those
fuel you have to
yachts-
hold.
For those yachts, yeah. It's like the big yachts are doing that kind of stuff.
Like more like billionaire status style, or like what 140 foot.
So hers is technically a 48-meter yacht.
Whoa.
Oh shit, that's
That's huge.
huge.
150 feet.
And they say that like the 50 plus meters are like the ones that usually go to do like the transatlantic stuff.
Okay, that must take so much fuel.
Yeah, and that's just like that doesn't necessarily mean that like a 50-meter is doing that, but like the 50 pluses are usually the ones that are going back and forth. And so since theirs is under, it would probably just get beat up on that voyage.
Wait, but so 48, 50 plus, but that's the difference of what? Two.
Like 6-7 feet.
What do you think the pilgrims would think of that?
They would laugh.
Yeah.
They would totally laugh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's also like, I mean, how many $1 million yacht? Like, you wouldn't want to beat that thing up.
I'd beat it up.
Or
I'd beat the
that
brick.
shit
Although,
up.
hold on
I'd
a
beat
second.
the brakes off
Hold on
that.
a second. It would get thrashed. There's people that go on little sailboats around the world. What would make it get thrashed?
I mean, I think it's just more so like because it's a luxury thing.
I was gonna say, I
Oh.
bet you there are significantly smaller boats that can go across the Atlantic, but they're just designed. They're not like a luxury yacht. They're
Yeah,
like, you
it's
know,
like-
But some of those ones you see those billionaires have made, like some of those I think are legit designed to sail the world.
I'm sure they are. Like, I'm sure there are totally. And that's not to say like a 48-meter vessel like other ones couldn't, but these are like luxury yachts.
Yeah, I want to be clear. I'm not speaking from a position of authority. Like I know nothing
like
about
these
boats.
people are the boat.
Yeah.
The boat was like, wow, this is beautiful, like high end
What does the guy do? Do you know?
oil, gas, fracker.
Oil. Fracking.
Goddamn fracker.
If I
What
could make
the
fracking
frack?
money, I'd make fracking money, I think.
You tap into that.
Maybe not fracking money, oil money.
Yeah.
I'd be about that oil.
You could. There's oil rigs off the shore.
Hey, it's a beast, dude. If I just bought the right property in Huntington.
Pain Cave Enterprises.
Maybe we'll start right here in the
you think
front
that
yard.
there's-
I mean, J. Paul Getty started with one well.
All right, should we move on
Everyone's gotta
to
start somewhere.
let's move on to the
Yeah.
next section. What do we got? Weather and trips.
weather. The
Been
weather,
great weather, guys.
over
The surf has been incredible.
surf has been incredible. We've had some pretty favorable winds.
Oh, dry, hot, warm, dry.
Yeah,
It's a great time to live. It's a great place to live
right
at
now.
this time of year.
This is our Indian summer kind of almost.
Yeah, I took the girls to the pool over the weekend, and I was like, "Girls, do you know how sweet it is that we can go to the pool right now and
It's good
have
that you
fun and
remind
be
them.
comfortable?"
It's good to remind them.
Yeah, and like, dude, the rest of the country is like, Florida's chilling. Florida's still hot.
It is good you reminded them.
Florida's
I don't think
recovering.
anyone ever told me as a kid how lucky I was to grow up on, like,
Yeah.
here. I just took it for granted. Like, I don't know. It's just like any other place.
Do you think that nobody told you, or do you think you just weren't listening? You didn't want to hear?
No,
that?
I'm legit. I don't think it ever as a kid until I was like well into my teens when people started or like when you started meeting other kids from like other different areas. But like it never. I don't think anyone ever said like, do you realize how lucky we are to live in like Southern California? You have the mountains, you have the beach. Like I just assumed like I don't know. Everyone like you meet someone you're like, oh, you never surfed, really? Like I don't know. It was kind of like that mindset, or like you've never been snowboarding, or
Yeah,
you've never been to
yeah.
like it was kind of like, wow, oh, I thought everyone
Tried it.
did
Totally.
that or tried that.
Totally.
we do live in a pretty incredible zone.
Mm.
Actually, the name of this channel, right? 118
That's
west
right.
for
Mason West.
the kind of the zone that we're in, and all the different things you can do. It is crazy the good weather streak that we've had because we have had such terrible weather in October here.
Oh,
Abnormal, I would say.
yeah.
Fog
September
and
October.
mist and just kind of not what you'd typically expect in the fall. So to finally have it like kind of break and have it be sunny and hot and just awesome days has been
Beautiful days too.
super enjoyable.
Light winds, just beautiful crisp days. You could see Catalina.
Yep.
Like,
Clear, ultra clear water.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know
David
if we're gonna have
saw
a good
some,
snow year though.
Some ocean life the other day.
What, the big leopard shark I saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Ooh.
a big one. It was
Nice.
huge.
I saw a big old shark
Saw a
cruising
big
around the
one.
line.
How big?
You hear that, surfers in SoCal?
It's like the size of my leg,
Watch
probably.
out.
No, that was a pretty big leopard shark.
Yeah. Watch out, sand crabs.
Sharks are out there.
Chad,
Yeah.
if you're watching, these sharks are not that dangerous, so we're
Wonder
not
if
really
Chad
worried
is
about
watching.
leopard sharks.
There was
I
a
hope you're
time where
watching.
David was pretty committed to trying to spear a leopard shark,
Hmm.
but I don't think he
No,
ever
I don't
got one.
think so.
Did I get a leopard
Jake
shark
got
at
one.
Rafiki, I think?
I've never messed with sharks, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of
think
I
them.
have a rule.
No,
I don't eat sharks, and sharks don't eat me.
Yeah. Jake got one.
I did.
You
at
speared a
Refugio.
leopard?
Uh-huh. A long time ago.
Nice.
That was before we took
Did you cook it?
we must have.
No, you let it go.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think
My favorite is
I
we used to go
killed it.
spearfishing with a mutual friend of ours
Well, I
named
think you
Danny.
killed it, but I think you also.
And
let
we
it
went
go.
spearfishing with him in Little Corona, and he was like, Danny was overzealous as a spearfisher.
Oh
and-
yeah, careful.
He kept going down there, and the sheep's head were like really skittish, right? If you got close to one, it would be gone. And he's like, these Garibaldi, they just know they're protected. They just stare at you and look at you, and they don't even move. And eventually, so much rage at the Garibaldi like boiled up in him that he came up and he had one speared, and he's like, I got it. I said, you know what? Fuck that. And everyone's like, Danny, put that thing away. You're gonna. There's a Garibaldi flipping on the.
Do you
tip
think
of a
that
spear.
Danny could still be? Do you think Fish and Game could come after him? What do you think the statute of limitations is on spearing
For the
the
state,
state saltwater
the
fish?
state fish. I hope unlimited.
Yeah.
I hope longer than murder, dude. Longer than homicide.
Yeah, those fish, they really do need to be protected. They're pretty stupid.
I think actually one
Garibaldi?
of my
Yeah.
first memories, Ryan, of meeting you. I can't remember whether it was you and Hayden or just Hayden or just you, but there was talk about spearing Garibaldis.
Oh, dude, we used to.
And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you cannot do that. And you're like, it was either you or Hayden. And you were like, I don't know if you had done it or at the notion of it, you're just like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just another fish. And I was like, I think you,
But are they rare? They're not rare.
no.
I
they're-
would-
It
wouldn't say
just
they're
happens to be the
rare.
state fish.
Yeah.
No, they're
They're
dude, they're so
protected.
they're so common. Like you see
And
them all the time.
But
You see them
it is
everywhere.
weird that you would protect, or like they're protected only for the sake of the fact that they're a state fish. They're not in actually any more danger than other fish that you can spear.
No. No.
He's
know.
like Snoop Dogg.
But do they, Garibaldi don't make good eating anyways, right?
No.
They're not
No.
missing out on
I have never tried one.
That didn't sound convincing.
Is
Yes,
that
it
true
did.
though? With most states, you can't kill their state animal. I wonder,
Oh, no.
like the state bird, you're not
well,
allowed to.
the state freshwater fish in California you can kill.
What is that?
Is it golden
The
trout,
golden
I think.
trout.
Oh, yeah, you can get
And you can
those
definitely
things.
get those.
Yeah.
So it
So
can't be
wait,
all.
wait. Can you? You can catch them. Can you kill them?
Well, what if you're
I don't
in
know
the
if you
backcountry?
can.
They're in the backcountry. You don't
I
think,
don't think.
I
think someone's going to be watching?
I don't think
them?
that. I don't think that makes. I mean, yeah, technically you can.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be
Technicalities.
can you kill a state animal, or is that the whole point? If it's a state something, it's protected. I mean, you can rip out poppies. Like no one's gonna arrest you for destroying a bunch of poppies.
That's true.
Well, if anyone watching this knows, let us know in the
But
chat.
I think
if
golden
you can-
trout though are like they might be endangered. I don't know if it's just because.
I was gonna say golden trout are pretty rare.
I don't know. I don't know.
And then aren't there another
But I
trout up
don't
there
thi- I
that
do think
looks
you
like golden
can-
trout that are invasive? The brown trout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brown trout and rainbow trout, depending on what side of the Sierras.
Well, now that Trump's in office, I think the rainbow trout are gonna be gone.
No more rainbows.
No.
Damn.
I always thought they
They're
were.
so beautiful.
I always
Yeah.
thought they were kind of, you know. All right. Hey.
What?
The weather has been very nice here, but there has been snow in the mountains.
That's right. 3 to 5 inches. Mammoth reported.
Yep. And girthy too. I heard it was a girthy 3 to 5 inches.
A wet one.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have a good winter. I'm just
Like,
going out and
What
saying
was
that
your?
now.
What is your prediction for the winter?
It's gonna be a La Nina. So I've been told.
So what is your
And
snowfall?
I'm
in
saying
inches?
Mammoth does about 280.
280. What did I say? 300. I said 300.
I said
think.
420.
No, I
I
hope.
think yeah, you might. I forget what we can consult the tape, but I think David and I both came in maybe slightly below average.
I think I was like 300. I was more.
Actually,
below
280
average
is
than you.
not that much below average.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Average
I
is
think it is.
350. I think.
Well, Mammoth
right?
has claimed for
380.
years. I feel like they said they averaged 400, but then if you go look at the historical snowfall, you're like, there's no
No,
way.
I think it's like 360. I think.
so
is
okay,
the
so
average.
280 is not that below average.
And Jake, maybe you were 330, and maybe I was 300.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
pr-
for future
We
episodes,
need a bar.
we're
We
gonna-
need to.
yeah,
We need to just put up a chart.
If you think about it,
a
360.
whiteboard. I think maybe.
Can we just
Can it be a
appreciate how
blackboard or
amazing
a Latinx
360 inches is as an average?
I don't think they like the Latinx.
That's insane.
What?
What's that?
360 inches as an average is insane, though.
That's an inch a day
That's like
with 5 days off.
I don't think
Even the Lord took those days off.
there's not too many other ski resorts in the world. Or like that's in the upper tier of ski resorts worldwide. I would
I
say.
believe it.
Mammoth is an upper tier ski resort.
It was a beautiful top tier
think.
resort.
Oh yes.
Most places don't get that amount of snow. Even places that have like way.
But so we're looking at the snowfall forecast right now.
Can you see if you flip it the other way, Jake? If it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
So we got Mammoth. The next bunch of
Beauty.
days.
22 degrees. 32,
Look at that. If
39.
it just
Ooh,
keeps doing that.
46.
Well, I think with open snow, blue means like mixed precipitation.
Mm.
Maybe purple does. I forget. What you're looking for is orange. So this is okay, but it's looking kind of a little bit dry leading into Thanksgiving.
Burley. What is that? The base, or is that?
I don't know where they.
McCoy,
at 9.6,
maybe,
probably McCoy, or maybe where is 9.6 at Mammoth?
9.6 is McCoy.
Maine.
No.
I think it's McCoy is higher than that, right?
9.6 at June
No,
is the
McCoy
summit,
is
right?
9.6.
No, 9.6 at June is the chalet.
Hold on, let's work backwards. The
9.6
summit
is McCoy.
That's probably our
summit
Summit's
weather
like
block.
10.8,
at
right?
Mammoth is
11 and barely
Change,
11.0
11.82.
something. Yeah, 9.6 is McCoy.
You think it's 2,500 feet from the top of Mammoth to McCoy,
Oh.
Might
No.
be Maine, huh?
or 2,300? No,
I thought Maine was like 8,900 though.
no.
Or I'm thinking of.
I think that's.
Hold
Maine.
on. We're going to
Lodge.
get to the bottom of this.
Anyways,
No fact checking.
No, this isn't an argument. It's just genuine curiosity.
Yeah, look it up, Jesse. I'm interested too.
Oh,
Revelstoke.
there's some orange.
so
This,
Canada and I think the other ones I have on here are like Washington, like Crystal, and Bachelor. It's looking a little bit better, which I think, the Pacific Northwest and Canada, I think, is going to have a great year. Tahoe, I think, an average year, and Mammoth slightly below
Alyeska's at 1,600.
elevation.
Yeah,
McCoy
that's
Station
crazy.
is 9,635 feet.
Okay, so
Okay,
that was
so it
it.
is
Main
McCoy.
Lodge is 8,900. Wow.
Oh, you're right.
Jess, we were right.
Wait, so that's
We were
crazy. So it's
totally right, Jesse.
20.
But if you think about it,
300
McCoy,
feet.
you still go up pretty. No,
No,
it's,
it's
not
1,300
2,300
feet.
That's why I was like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
do
yeah,
your
yeah.
math. It's like 1,400.
Yeah, yeah,
which
that
should
makes way
check
more
out.
sense.
You gotta do
Yeah.
that math again.
I think-
Um,
I think to get 3,000 feet of descent at Mammoth, you have to go from the top all the way to Eagle.
Or just
Yeah.
say something that people really disagree with.
yeah, top to Eagle. Eh.
Look at this sweet background graphic we have, by the way, on the stream
Is
there.
that just a mountain in the background?
It's the Palisades.
Ooh,
In wintertime.
beautiful.
So the snow forecast, where the snow has also been very good this early season is Colorado.
Yes,
I
they've
think
got
people
some-
are already backcountry skiing in
and
Colorado.
Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
Jackson Hole got a big dump, so I saw.
Ours is coming. We just need to be patient. Let's just enjoy.
So, Jesse, you think 260, huh?
I said 280.
280.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a couple
Jake.
decent seasons strung together now.
Can you write that down in the notes?
Yeah.
Or
We should
let's,
write-
Let's write our claims down if we can.
We had a decent season last year, like slightly above average, and then the year before was gangbusters. So I feel like we're due for a below average.
Same.
That's
Yeah.
the way I look at it. Although you never know. When you look at the historical snowfall, it could sometimes go like banger, 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 like
Maybe you
3,
can't
4 in
edit
a
it.
row, and then terrible 2, or like there's no real pattern.
Yeah, there is no pattern at all.
So who knows? It could be another.
But La
fun-
Ninas could be good.
La Ninas historically are a total crapshoot. They can be excellent, they can be average, they can be horrific.
They're saying atmospheric rivers for
And El
Down
Ninos,
low.
El Ninos do not always deliver either.
atmospheric.
You say 280, Jesse?
Yeah.
280. big old whopping.
Although, if you look at
JD,
Mammoth's
or
best,
what do you say? 320.
300.
Mammoth's best winters have not always been their big El Ninos.
Hey, I will say this though. I think
Mammoth?
I think winters that underperform start off early and good early.
What?
The last one was a La Nina.
I said Mammoth's best winters, some of their record winters, are not always El Ninos. Sometimes they are, but not always.
It's true. The following, like 2010, 2011.
2010, 11 was not
El
an El
Nino.
Nino, and that was insane. 05 was, which was huge. 98 was, which was huge. 81, 82
Even this
was,
last
which
one
was huge.
Wasn't really a
but-
strong El Nino.
Well, not this last year was a moderate to somewhat strong El Nino, but the year before was a La Nina, and they got absolutely
Yeah.
dumped on. That was
Yeah.
La Nina. So
Yeah, La Ninas are usually the ones that where there's more
no, not necessarily. El Nino is like Mammoth and north of Mammoth is the tipping point with El Nino. So El Nino typically, when it's a strong one, will favor the Southern Sierra and Southern California, and if it's a really strong El Nino, there's a high probability Southern California and somewhat Southern California into the Southern Sierra will get absolutely dumped on. But then by the time you get to like Mammoth and Tahoe, they say it's kind of like 50-50. Sometimes they can miss a lot of that precipitation, and sometimes they get like walloped.
And isn't that the same thing that happens with La Nina in the opposite direction?
I believe so.
Like Tahoe
yes.
sometimes gets looped into the like jet stream that's
Yeah.
hanging out in the Pacific
Because like
Northwest.
sometimes like when you're talking about the El Ninos, you have like those pineapple expresses where the jet moves south and it pushes all that subtropical moisture through like Southern California, and they say Mammoth north of Mammoth, like into the Tahoe, is like the tipping area. So sometimes there's even been years where there's even El Ninos where there's been like several 100-inch variation between Tahoe's snowfall and Mammoth's. In other words, like the Southern Sierras picked up hundreds of inches more than Tahoe.
I wonder. I'm trying to think too. Like, are there a lot of La Nina events too, where it's just because La Ninas are typically colder, right? Colder and drier. But there are some. I wonder if there are La Nina events that are also have more moisture, but since it's already colder, because it's a La Nina, that there's like dumpy, like, you know what I mean? Like, what about it's been so long though, like the Gorgo dump year. I wonder what was that like. Was that a rainy
I don't know.
winter?
I mean, there's no denying some of the most record-setting years in Mammoth have been El Ninos.
Okay,
The
do you think
winter
that
of 81, 82 was one of the strongest El Ninos on record. 97, 98,
well, no,
another powerful one. 2005.
here, let me put it this way. Do you think that there are like a lot of big snow years for down here that weren't that rainy? No.
Well, I think the problem now, though, when you get El Ninos, is like it doesn't always if it's a really strong El Nino, and it makes the cutoff into this like that part of the Sierra, it guarantees precipitation, but it doesn't always guarantee snow.
yeah.
I mean, look at all I forget a couple of years ago, there was a lot of storms where, was it last year or the year before, where Mammoth got dumped on, and there was all these storms that hit the local mountains, and mostly it was rain. They got like picked up 4 or 5 inches of rain.
I think Mountain High had to
Yeah.
close.
Another
midwinter,
couple
right?
weeks goes by, they get a little snow, and then another
And then
huge
reopen.
storm.
Yeah,
4 more
so
5 inches of rain.
What I'm saying is maybe
Midwinter.
it's at the opposite. It's the opposite for La Nina, but since it's so much colder, does the lack of like water volume make up for it? You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you mean.
And, yeah, like you get some. It feels like maybe you get those cold systems that are hot, like a lot of snow for not like.
Yeah, I don't know enough about like the weather patterns.
Seems like the opposite of the El Nino event you're talking about, where you get a ton of water but not necessarily that much snow. Because
I just remember in my meteorology class at LTCC, the instructor was saying Tahoe's like kind of like the tipping point. So sometimes the El Nino, the moisture will make it up to Tahoe, but rarely does it El Nino mean it. El Nino usually means bad conditions for the Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest and northern California.
I just want to call out right now, looking at these notes, that we got a rocket launch in 14 minutes. So, oh shoot!
Nice.
Yeah.
How about that rocket launch at Refugio? That was pretty cool.
Ooh, that was the best rocket launch I've seen in person.
And a sonic boom.
And what I thought was a train turned out to be the sound. That was
You know what? Okay, do you think that was cooler visually, or do you think the crazy contrail is cooler visually?
I think visually seeing the flame
yeah.
or whatever that flame.
A
behind
daytime
the rock.
close launch versus a nighttime here launch.
What about a nighttime close launch?
I think a nighttime close launch would be rad.
But you want to
would
see the
be
rocket
really
as
cool.
well.
Imagine me chilling like on the pullout, like on the road into Halama, just
Yeah.
watching that.
The,
thing.
the
Or-
problem is though, if you
Do
try
they
and
close Halama on those launches or no?
no, I think you can
watch?
go to Halama
Some of them they
frequently.
close Halama.
Really?
That was one of the things that the Coastal Commission was claiming to be an issue for them when they were trying to prevent Elon Musk from launching from Vandenberg. They said
Launching as much.
launching as much
as often.
from Vandenberg.
They've been launching a lot from Florida now, though, too, right?
Yeah, they launch a lot. It seems
I think-
like every other time.
But it definitely seems like the amount of rocket launches has stepped up in the last I don't know.
And my Verizon
Couple of
service is
years.
still terrible.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like,
We-
what are we putting up there?
the
Spy satellites.
a bunch of years ago, I went up to Halama with Brad to try and see a rocket launch up close. Like we were gonna drive as close as you could get to Vandenberg. We camped at Halama and went to Vandenberg, got the Prius stuck in the mud, and the rocket, they scrubbed the launch like 10 minutes to launch. And it was the most depressing drive back to camp. Like really, it was just like in the middle of the night, like a 2 a.m. launch. And we drove back to camp and had a really windy night in a tent full of sand at Halama.
Oh no.
And then woke up early the next morning and drove home. No rocket launched. And I think that was the end of my mobile rocket viewing.
But not the end of your mobile rocket launching,
That's true.
granted.
Those days will never end.
Now, do you think you would be eventually stopped if you walked north from Halama on the beach? Do you think there's like guards on the beach?
I bet
Life
there's like
Or is-
camera.
Or is it the whole same thing as the ranch, but now with the military, where it's just like, no, mean high tide line, public beach?
I don't think the military is chill
No,
like
'cause
that.
If you go down to Coronado, where the Navy SEAL beach is, if you start walking onto their beach, like where
You'll get
the-
shot.
somebody will walk down and say, "Hey, you can't be here.
Okay.
You need to turn around."
It's probably the same there.
Yeah.
I imagine.
If it's a base, somebody will definitely turn you around.
What about
Yeah.
Area 51?
You would probably be.
I've
beamed
seen
up
videos.
and-
They come. What seems
be
like
the
there, it
next
seems like there's no
one
one
into
there,
the
and when those
alien
people
ship.
try to like get past the perimeter, even though it's not like, I mean, it's like barbed wire, like cow fence in some areas, but someone's there instantly.
What if you do the Naruto dance?
Dude, I just saw. Did you see that there was a hearing today about UFOs, and they admitted that there's a reverse engineering program under oath. They admit that there's a alien aerial vehicle retrieval program, and a reverse engineering program running.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
Well-
means that they must be there for a reason.
My
That's crazy.
My thought process on this, though, is I think the UFO, like, you've seen a lot of those YouTube videos of those things that are going like against the jet at 40,000, 50,000 feet, moving in ways that the Air Force pilots can't, moving with like stuff that defies aerodynamics is like, I would say there's a greater chance it has something to do with like higher levels of our military than
Yes.
any extraterrestrials.
Or China's military, or
And that's why I think.
Yeah, like a
I-
highly sophisticated drone.
So I would say, like, when they're talking about like the Pentagon saying like we're going to have these hearings and we're going to try to declassify our findings of these UFOs, I look at that as just like damage control, as far as like we need to feed people the most believable narrative to explain the unexplainable. But I think there's a much greater chance whatever those pilots have been seeing and cataloging, or the times the videos you see of people on YouTube where there's some strange light up there and the things are moving. I don't think it's actual beings from outer space. I think it's
Ever?
I mean, I'm not saying life outside of Earth doesn't exist. I just don't think in those instances those are examples of that.
I think that there's some form of life outside of Earth that exists, and the odds of it coming to our planet are so
Whoa, whoa,
infinitesimally
whoa.
small.
Yeah.
What if
Did you
they're
guys
already
see
here?
how clear the water was at Refugio? And did you see the inscriptions on the reef outside of
Yeah.
Refugio while we were there.
Could
Exactly,
it be
the
ancient
Lumineers.
aliens?
I think it was ancient. I mean, it was good surf, right? You can't deny that. It was fun surf, right? And the inscriptions on the reef were clear as day, not made by nature.
Yeah, who else could make those
Norman.
squiggles?
Yeah. So, I mean, just saying.
It just seems far more likely that our military or another military is just up to something. That seems like a far more plausible reason for like, and it would.
I
totally
disagree.
check out
I
the-
love the military, and if the National Security Agency is paying attention,
It would totally check out that like it's not like the pilot of that F-18 would have known like what they're doing at like some high level, right? He'd have no
He
clue.
was just a grunt.
And for all you know, they could be testing like, yeah, I don't know, testing the reactions of like those pilots.
Hold on. 9:23. So what? We got 12 more minutes.
No, we have 8 minutes. It's 9:15.
Oh, the iPad says 9:11.
9/11.
Never
Oh,
forget.
perfect. I'm glad we're on that. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, now it says 9:15.
Steel
That's crazy.
doesn't melt. Okay.
Steel doesn't melt.
All right. So
From jet
what?
fuel.
I don't even think we should move on to the next.
What about the upcoming meteors?
Hey, we could talk about the Leonids, yeah.
Oh yeah, meteor showers. Yeah,
Those are always a bright one.
that sounds like a meteor subject for us to dive into. Let's do it.
Yeah, mediocre one.
No meteor, like a thicker, something you can sink your teeth into.
Roger. Well, have you guys ever seen the Leonids?
I don't even.
We must have over the years.
I think we did last year.
Where were we?
In,
November.
at the hot springs.
Oh, we must have, yeah. Oh,
Remember?
yeah, I do remember.
I think so. Weren't
At-
those the like the tail end of the
It must have been
Leonids?
because we did a bunch of hot spring tourism after skiing in
What-
November and December.
What was the meteor shower that I got turned around at J Tree for?
That was
the
a
Perseid.
Oh,
Perseids.
The Perseids, yeah.
Ugh.
Perseids. Did you guys hear of the
I'm not going to
meteor asteroid in 2029 that might be so close that it comes within? It's like a massive meteor,
I think so. It's between the moon and us.
and
Right.
it
below
comes with-
satellites,
yeah,
right?
it
They
comes
said.
below satellites.
Although I watched the thing that you sent me, Ryan, and it does seem like somewhat clickbaity. Like it's trying to
no.
inspire. No, like
Oh no!
it's just trying to inspire. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson, but he's trying. It sounds like the way that he's talking about it. He was like,
Yeah.
and it's called apostrophes,
Yeah.
which is like
Or yeah, something
upcoming
like
like death and all this stuff. But then it's like, well, it's not going to hit us. And they just can't predict its exact orbit, and it's going to come closer than a lot of them.
that. Yeah, it's supposed to come super close.
But if you think about it, probably not in our lifetime because that represents such a small blip in the grand scheme of the.
April 13th, 2029.
No, but I'm saying, eventually a giant meteor
Where will
will
you
hit
be?
the Earth
YOLO.
again.
You got it. Hey, you just got to live your life while you got it, right?
It will happen.
Yeah.
It could
This
be
will
a
happen.
sick viewing event.
Can you imagine the
Yeah.
misfortune of having
From
a
Europe, did it say?
No,
a giant
North
meteor
America.
hit
North
during
America.
your
Northern
75-year
Okay.
lifespan? Like, of all the times, there's been hundreds of thousands of years where
I
no
wonder if
giant
we'd be able to
meteors
see
have
during
hit.
the day.
And we got to take a big
That would
one
be
straight
wild.
to
You just see it go. I knew it. Son of a.
unreal.
And I just got the garage organized the way I wanted it. Damn
I
it.
mean, what are the odds? Like, you think of how many, like, when's the last meteor that caused massive destruction was the one that hit the
11,000 to 13,000 years ago.
Yucatan? No, is it the one?
Is
that
anybody
Yucat-
checking the comments on this?
I think they think it's the Younger Dryas impact theory.
Is that the one that hit the Yucatan Peninsula, or is that's the one that supposedly made the dinosaurs extinct?
And that's millions and millions of years
But that
ago.
one was
big.
that one was like serious.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is you look at the crater that caused, and then they actually say the size of that meteor
Mm-hmm.
was like, I forget what they say, but it's like nowhere remotely close to the size of the crater. Like a meteor the size of a semi truck could cause catastrophic damage to the Earth.
Yeah.
We probably should wrap it up though soon so we can go see this rocket. We have one person watching. Thank you to our loyal viewer.
Like
But
and
we've had-
subscribe.
We've had a couple of engagements.
Wait, no, we're not going to wrap it up. We're just going to pause it.
That's true. That's true.
Just pause. And if our viewer also, we recommend you stepping outside watching the rocket launch.
And then maybe we'll try to hustle through the rest of if we want to play a game of cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you are watching viewer, you go into your mama's room and you lift $40 out of her purse, and you donate to the podcast, please. Thank you.
Yeah. We are still working out our Cash App.
All right, we're gonna go take a brief break, watch this rocket, and we'll come back and delve into some more topics.
All right, I muted it, so
We need to get our Cash App though. That would be a sweet thing to have. I bet you like random people will send
Totally,
all money.
$5.
Okay,
but it should go to the show. It should just.
It should go to all of this
Ryan
stuff.
playing in the WNBA.
Yes.
Ryan's 6-week training program.
That's gonna be expensive. We're gonna be like,
Can you imagine? I was thinking about
Best.
this. I didn't want to. We've beaten a dead horse on the podcast, but if Ryan went to the he's not somewhat past your prime. But imagine if you were like, I know. I mean, so am I.
Here,
But
let's go.
imagine if like your peak at age 25, you're in the best shape of your life, and you try out for the WNBA. Even if you clearly don't have the shooting skills of these ladies, the dribbling skills, but if they just thought you were a woman, they'd be like, this is insane. There's just something different about this one, right? Like, she's stronger, faster,
she's meaner.
There's just more potential.
figure out a better setup for this, this is the way to do it. Sitting back in the couch here. It's too
Yeah.
cramped the other way.
I'm just waiting until.
Yeah, it's better.
All right, I think our audio's back on. It's super loud though with what Ryan's doing.
We'll be able to get you for a ski trip at some point this year, Jesse.
Well, most definitely.
Get Maddie on
Yeah.
skis or a board.
Yeah.
Did Kiara get on skis
No, she
or
did
snowboard?
not.
Did she get on the mountain?
I mean, she got on the mountain.
Yeah, she came up to the chalet.
She came up. I kept.
Did she try and ride?
She- She was saying she's like last year I wanted to ski and then I forget. But I didn't get a chance because I had to watch Maddie. I was like, all right, well then ski with ski with Maddie. Like, let's do it. And it got to the day of, and she's like, oh, I'm fine. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna push it, especially
Yeah.
at those prices. Like, if
Yeah.
it's not something you really want to do.
Well, that rocket launch was pretty tight.
Yeah, there was.
I give it a 7.
The ending was spectacular. Slow start, but beautiful.
But yeah, I'll go on a
finish.
snowboard trip this year. I'm not going on a ski trip, but I'll definitely go on a snowboard trip.
Yeah,
again.
language matters.
Yeah.
Oh,
We won't beat that dead horse tonight.
Okay, so where were we? We saw the rocket launch. We talked about an upcoming meteor shower.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
shoulda. Yeah, let's touch on that a little bit.
I,
What training are you going to be doing for
I
the
think-
winter season?
I don't know. I think I need to ride my bike a lot. I ride my bike a little bit more.
Okay.
and the stairs.
And run some stairs. Yeah, I think those are gonna be my 2 things.
I think I just need to continue to skate once every 2 to 3 weeks.
Keep
to
it,
stay
yeah.
at peak performance.
Yeah.
And
What's
then keep slinging those whips.
Do you have a ski season training that you recommend, Ryan?
I have been doing just like walking uphill.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about this.
Yeah, like the treadmill uphill.
There's no substitute though for just getting in there and
Yeah.
just doing it.
Yeah, I know. I
That's
agree.
true.
Because once you're a couple weeks in, your training is your job.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The first few weeks are miserable, but then eventually you develop some like. I really regret that though.
But
now.
I do want to come in a lot stronger though, because you can come in a lot stronger.
You should do steroids then, dude.
Right.
Do some trend
What have I
cycles.
been doing?
Yeah, do some
Yeah, you're taking
cycles.
peptides.
But
I'm gonna get on some tea.
the one thing that's sad to me is like it's been
Probably could you come put up the stuff? Ah!
it has been years since I've felt the feeling of being able to go on the mountain and just have a day and feel pretty normal after because I
Yeah.
have none of the muscles are like I snowboard 2 to 5 days a year, and so every day I snowboard is like it's been probably a year, or it's been either a year since I last snowboarded or I last snowboarded the day before and it wrecked me and now I'm even more wrecked. But I never have a feeling of just having a day on the mountain and getting done and being like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the quintessential like ski
Weekend
or snowboard experience though? Doing it and then just being absolutely worked.
No, but like when I lived up in Tahoe or even the years I was going up more often, I think it's probably representative of 2 things. A, I hardly snowboard anymore, so when I do it wrecks me. And B, even back when I was the years I didn't live in Tahoe, but when we were taking trips every 3-4 weeks, I was just more active in general. So I wasn't wrecked from a day of snowboarding. Like we'd go up to Mammoth, and the first day at Mammoth, I wasn't like, oh God. So it's probably a combination of getting older, not being as active, and having no snowboard conditioning. Because like I remember the last time we went last year, the first day, I was like, oh, I don't even know if I can snowboard tomorrow.
Maybe
And I
I'll
did, but
I'll start wearing my skis while I work from home at my standing desk or sitting down even. just to get my feet.
You should start
conditioned.
Or just, like,
rollerblading.
sit in chair pose like you're in a
Yeah.
skating position.
It might with boots and my skis.
Rollerblades.
Yeah.
Yeah, rollerblades, dude. Lauren, I was telling Lauren she should get into rollerblading. I think that'd be a tight thing for her to do.
It would be.
You could
It's
push
such a
the
good-
the girls around in a stroller on blades.
Yeah, because she wanted to go do a mom rollerblading thing, and she's like, "I'm gonna go on a skateboard," and it's like that. I don't think you should do that. That seems like you're gonna be holding everybody up.
Anyone interested in doing some ice skating this year?
Ooh, I would.
I
be down to ice
love
skate.
me
Alpine Lakes.
I love me some ice
Hey,
skating.
this
At a
is the
rink
season.
around here.
I wanna-
Yeah, there's plenty of rinks around here.
I think like
Right now is the
right
time.
now into early December is like the time for lake skating.
Ice skating is so
be
fun.
already
It's
little
it's such a
ruined
great
now if it's
activity.
already getting snow.
Dude, have you seen those videos that people do
I
like
bet you could still do
ice
it
skating
right
on
now.
like it's like the Keys
Uh,
where
Yeah.
they just ice skate for like miles and
I-
miles. It looks so fun.
It's I've only ice skated 4 or 5 times in my life. I'm pretty good. I picked it up instantly. I can skate backwards, forwards. I even was doing some little tricks.
Can you jump?
Really?
Yeah, I was doing some 180s.
Really?
Yeah.
You think you could play hockey?
Oh, I'm sure I get obliterated, but it's like I was skating aggressively fast. I was
This is Jesse
weaving in and out
shoulda.
of people at the spectrum.
No, this is Jesse woulda. No, this is
Coulda.
a coulda.
Coulda.
I
Are
could.
Are those all in the? Those are all in the past though, right? Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I mean, I ice
Wanna.
skated 2 years ago and I was crushing it.
No, but I'm saying like this is your
mean, ice
thing.
skating
This
is
is your
not
thing
that
right
hard,
now
is
that you're
it?
saying that you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah,
We should ice skate.
skating.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
I'm down. I'd be down to go try it out.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, I've done it. It'd be a whole new thing for me.
I think if once you have a experience on the snow, like I figured that's
Edge
why.
control.
Or maybe I don't know. We did rollerblade a little as kids, but like I picked it up pretty quick. I mean, I did fall some, but like the first time I ice skated, I was successfully skating relatively fast and like doing turns.
The Noise Boys era was a lot of rollerblading.
Yeah, I will say this. I also felt like I was pretty good at ice skating the last time I did it, and I was starting to skate backwards and jump 180.
Took a big.
And I took a fall at such slow speed and landed it on my tailbone, and instantly I was done. I like limped off the ice, sat in the bleachers for the rest of the time, and was regretted
ice
ever
hurts.
trying hard.
A career-ending.
But I'm still down to
move.
go. But I think I would keep it way easier.
Just check fools instead of trying to be tricky.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, I wouldn't ever want to do it at like Mammoth or one of those resort areas where it's packed with people. If
Really?
I was-
There's
That's
a
where I
new
would be-
rink at Mammoth,
The
I think.
new rink at Mammoth, I've heard, is actually really nice.
Oh, okay.
And
All
they
I
have
know
a
is
hockey league there.
when I did it at the Spectrum, it was a joke because it was like packed
Oh,
with
yeah.
that's a joke. Yeah.
a lot of people. We'll say.
I think I'd be psyched to go ice skating, period. But I'd be really excited to go do it on an alpine lake.
That's kind of my only way I'm gonna ice skate. I think.
Is
Why
if there's like the possibility you might fall through the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Living
you gotta have that
dangerously.
danger.
Risky.
I need that risk.
Risky.
You should have lived with us when
right?
we lived next to the Tahoe Keys.
Yeah, you should have. I can vouch. Jake, what's your woulda, shoulda, coulda?
My shoulda is at, I think, similar to you about trying to get into ski shape. I am trying to get back into climbing shape. I need to start getting back into a routine of doing some pull-ups. I had a pretty embarrassing outing and not being able to do nearly as many pull-ups as I used to be able to. I just
Why?
kinda
How
let my-
many? What were the numbers? Are you willing to say it on?
Yeah, I'll say it. I barely did one, but to my credit, it was after a long boulder traverse in Joshua Tree.
I think I could do a pull up.
Well, I can do on like a bar. I think I could crank out 10.
Oh, this
or
was on
something
your
right now.
fingers.
No, this is like doing like basically like a 5'11" climb for like 80 feet.
So it's not It's not a pull up. You weren't able to do the end move of a long.
I wasn't
bouldering
able to
problem.
do the flex of doing a bunch of pull-ups after doing this.
So is it safe to say you wouldn't be able to hang motionless from the monkey bars for too long?
So I'm trying to get back into climbing shape because it's prime climbing season right now. And so I got to figure out a more, I don't know. I guess part of it is I just need to go climbing too. The same way we're talking about going skiing
Yeah.
and just start doing it. And so my first version of that on like an actual trip, I mean, I went to Vegas and did a little bit of climbing, but I'm going to go to Mammoth in like a week or something, 10 days. and I don't think the skiing is going to be that great. So I'm going to go climb in Bishop a bunch of the days, I think, and destroy my skin and have that be my crash course back into climbing shape, I think.
Has Lizzie been doing climbing with you?
Yeah. She's
Nice.
she's moderately into climbing.
Like Davey's status?
I mean,
I'm
more
not
than
into
David is
climbing
now,
at all.
but
Like when how David.
no, not that into it.
Okay.
But like psyched on it for sure. I kind of got when we were climbing in Vegas this last weekend, like it was crowded because it was Veterans Day on Monday, and so there's a lot of people in Red Rocks, and we went to like a popular trailhead, and so all the classic climbs were like taken. I was like, oh, we'll just go do this one. I bet it's okay. And I got like barely started the second pitch, and it was kind of hard for me, and I was like, this is not a good idea, and so we bailed.
What did it go at?
5'9", but 5'9" like chimney.
Oh.
Like fun climbing and kind of cool, but like I don't know if I was like a little bit like alarmed at how it was feeling for me, it could have been an epic for us. So
Did you hear about those people that got rescued off of was it Whitney? It was like a 5'7".
recently,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it made like national news. They what is there a 5'7" route that goes up Whitney?
yeah, it's called the East Face.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going up the east face of Whitney, and they made it like halfway up before it became too technically challenging, and they called 911 or search and rescue or whatever, and search and rescue's advice was like, if do you really need a rescue, or do you think you can like bail? And they're like, we'll let you know or whatever. And so then they tried to bail and couldn't bail, and they ended up spending, I think, the night up there or whatever. But I just remember thinking, I was like researching it. I was like, it's a 5'7" route. You could literally climb down it without ropes. Like, how do you get stuck halfway up a 5'7" route with like a full rack and ropes? Like, how does that?
Not knowing how to use a full.
How does
rack
that
and
happen?
ropes.
But,
Or being
like,
too
worst
scared
case-
to rappel.
Worst case scenario, you the same way you came up, you came down. It's not like you're climbing a technical climb. It's like climbing up a ladder.
Yeah. And
Like, don't you think you could confidently down climb that route?
yeah, the east face of Whitney is like a scramble with like a very short section of 5'7" called the Fresh Air Traverse.
Okay, yeah, I would just remember I was like looking at where they got rescued off of. I'm like, it literally looks like you could walk down it. You could walk up it with a couple like areas of like tech or somewhat technical moves. I'm
It's
like
mostly a scramble.
and I was like, oh my god, can you imagine that helicopter ride? Or I think they deposited the rescuers, and the rescuers came up and like lowered them down on ropes. I'm like,
Yeah.
that had to be a pretty embarrassing walk back to the car.
Oh God, yeah.
But I think it's pretty common on Mount Whitney
It's very
for
common.
people to get rescued.
God, could you imagine you booked the permits? I'm gonna climb Mount Whitney. You told all your friends, guys, I'm climbing Mount Whitney.
And they
I'm
all
going
said,
live. I'm going live from the East
going.
Face.
hey, and they all said, I don't know, man.
I think I could confidently say if I was climbing a route like that and I panicked and I'd rather risk death than risk the embarrassment of being rescued off a route of that nature. Like, I'd rather, like, I'm either dying, I'm either getting off this, unless I was injured. But if I was just like not injured, I'm either getting out of this myself or I'm not. But I'm not calling for help.
A long time ago, David and I were part of a rescue on Mount Whitney on a trail of a older
true.
guy who slipped on the ice and fell and fractured his knee, I think.
Oh.
or
Oh, I
something.
think
Self-diagnosed, though, dude. Everybody's a doctor these days.
I think I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. All
I
right.
gave them all of our stuff.
What's another shoulda for me, I guess, or coulda? I don't know what this falls into. Is I'm really trying hard to decrease my candy consumption.
I noticed there was no tamales tonight.
Yep. I just went on this trip to Vegas and bought one thing of candy the entire time. The
Nice.
drive
For
out
the drive out.
and the drive. No, I bought it there and consumed it like there and a little bit on the drive back.
Were you
didn't-
shaking
Wait,
as you opened
drove?
it?
Wait, you drove there without eating any candy?
Yep.
Wow, you've got a problem, bro. A quitting problem.
Yeah.
So those are my woulda, shoulda, couldas. What about you, Ryan?
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I guess I coulda surfed a little more before I had to leave on Friday, but I surfed last 5 days. I guess not last 2 days, but the 5 days before that. Shoulda. So I guess that was more of a shoulda. Coulda, I woulda.
These are all pretty similar, anyways. Woulda,
Yeah.
coulda, shoulda.
You can just do one thing and we
Yeah,
can
it
just
doesn't
move
have
on.
to-
Let's blow through
Let's
this
just
shit.
move on.
All right. Next up is some gear stuff that we got to talk about.
Hell yeah.
I got a sick one, dude. I got the freaking Lodge combo pot, which is pretty sick because it's going to be the pizza making machine, I think. Yeah, pull it up, Jake. Here, let's.
Although, can we all agree those pizzas that we cooked up at Refugio were kind of like they were
Yeah,
dangerous. They were ashy.
Oh,
They
mine
were
was good.
They were delicious, but
Look at this
there's
thing. I got mine
potential
half
to
off.
improve upon that.
The
Yeah.
pizza's-
Yeah, I burned my hand through the glove.
No, I
Cast
think-
iron gets really hot when you put it in coals.
I think the big thing is it's got to be done in a more controlled way with the coals away from the fire. You can't have a fire that's like 1,000 degrees in the fire pit burning.
Too much
next to-
variation in
yeah.
heat. Yeah, Tucker's was like burned to a crisp. It was inedible.
But look at this one. So this one has the lid. The lid looks like to be the perfect
crust size.
like depth to put in a
A
pizza.
pizza.
And I
Yeah.
wasn't thrilled with baking the pizza. Like Tucker was assuring me that like no, the two cast irons make a seal, but like they were in coals surrounded by ash, and we'd been burning all sorts of things in that fire. Like I
Yeah,
wasn't
but-
thrilled about the ash on the pizza being like
That ash is
nicotine
probably
wrapper ash.
It's probably just pure carbon though. At that
yeah,
point,
yeah,
it was so
I
hot in
guess.
there.
Pure carbon.
Pure ash.
Well,
that looks
sweet.
like a
first of all,
sick setup.
well, okay, but maybe next time when we're camping, maybe don't throw nicotine gum trash into the fire pit that we're going to be cooking in.
Listen, it wasn't just that. There was, I mean, we were
There's
burning
all
wood
sorts of
that
stuff
was,
you were throwing in there.
no, we were burning wood that was like turning blue, and the like
Yeah,
That's
what
how you
was
know
that?
it's good.
What would
it was
turn
that
blue?
pallet Jake found next to the dumpster.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, and look, you're never gonna stop me from throwing trash in a fire. Like,
Look,
that's
this thing is
what
pretty sweet.
fires are for.
Yeah,
That's
this is
very-
cool. You could also cook desserts in this, not just cast iron
Yeah,
pizza.
cinnamon rolls, apple pies.
Nice. I'm not getting step-ins either. I saw that.
Are you gonna start making some pies?
Maybe, yeah.
So
Like-
this is your most recent gear purchase.
Yeah,
then?
that's it for me.
All right. Let's see. I've taken the liberty. Well, we can do mine, I guess. I just recently was inspired by a friend, Mike, who has one of these, and I ordered one, and it's like a synthesizer and a loop recorder.
Is that how much you
and-
paid? 400 for yours?
No, I think I got it for like just over 200, but used because I don't make it anymore, and it is so fun playing around with this device.
Wait, what's this one then? This one is
It's the same one. It's just from like I didn't buy mine off Amazon. I bought it off of like
Okay.
I don't know It's a Japanese company, I believe, and so it shipped from Japan. It took a while, but it is super fun playing around with it. You can just like make beats. It's got like I don't know 130 different like types of sounds that come out of it, and it's been super fun to play with. So that is the gear that I'm psyched on right now, and just trying to learn how to use it and play music with it and
You want it?
record things.
Let's just look at these step-in bindings real quick. too.
Yeah, we will.
I guess, or Ryan, do you have something that you want to talk about?
I did line one up just in case you guys are gonna ask me.
What was it?
But if that step-in binding is sicker, I think we should talk about
Yeah,
that.
let's just talk about that. Let's just blow through this last section.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm
These are
hoping to
bad, so,
inspire Jesse
yeah.
to get these at some point. Whenever you buy your new
I'm going to get Lauren these for Christmas.
setup, Jesse, these are so sick. I think you need new boots and new bindings, but that little like nubbin on like the side of the boot is on either side, and it has like a click bit on the heel as well.
Are they boa boots?
I don't think they. I don't think they all have to be boa. Like some of them are, but like maybe they all are. Actually, you don't do boa.
I just had a bad experience with them.
I think it's better now though. It's pretty like
The
Widely
cable
adopted.
snapped, and then also when you rest your board on your foot, the board eventually, like the edge of the board,
I think they have
slowly slices at the cable.
most of them have protection now. over
And
that.
the worst part is like when you break a snowboard lace, it's easy fix. You go down to the shop, you get some new laces, and you're back on the mountain. When you break boa boots, you're
Yeah.
like done for the day.
Yeah.
You can have extra cables.
Yeah, but lacing up it's a nightmare, and like it sets you back hours.
I have a pair of
You are
boots that
right,
have liners that have boa in the liners on the ski boots, and I wish the liners fit me better. Cause
Like
would
I
love
will
to
say,
have
I
that.
loved how dialed in the boot got when they worked. It was the tightest and the least loose my snowboard boots have ever been. But I broke the cables constantly, and eventually said, "You know what? Fuck this." So I might be down to do that, provided I could find boots that I lace up myself. Because the way I lace up snowboard boots, I lace them up, I tie them in a big knot instead of a bow, and then I tie them in another knot behind, and then one more final knot, and then I never adjust them throughout the day.
That sounds very scientific.
This is what the step-in bindings look like.
Yeah, I've seen them on the hill. Although, I mean, I don't think I slow down the group too much. I think there's always skiers generally when I'm with you guys in your party that are even slower than me after accounting
Yeah,
for how...
like Brad, who somehow needs like longer.
Like I'm
than
never the last,
Lauren.
even after
Yeah, of
getting off the
course.
lift, I'm never the last down because even the skiers that push right off in your party and don't do any of that, I pass on the mountain.
Of course, I think it would you would find it almost more as I think as you get
I'd probably
older,
be less sore.
and
at
maybe
the
you
end
don't
of the
want
day.
to bend down as
Yeah.
much to strap in. And then I know you're pretty good at doing it while you're moving, but with these ones, I think it's very easy to do without ever having to like stop. You know, you're never sitting on the snow. Honestly,
I would wonder how that would work though in powder.
But hold on, my big thing though is
I think well enough.
okay, so it clicks you in, but and the fact that it's got a high back is fantastic. But I still do think there's no substitute. And granted, the older I get, the performance
important
matters
it
less. But having an actual strap over your boot, it changes the dynamic of what you can do with your board. And I know this from doing the old step-ins. Granted, those didn't even have a high back, so your calves were worked at the end of the day. But like you never had, like having something that ratchets over this part of your foot allows you to like control the board in a different way.
But look where it clicks in the front there. That's right where the toe strap would have connected the binding anyway. So what if you imagine that like the toe strap is kind of built into the boot and you're actually clicking.
I know, but it's the
Into
cover
it
over
there.
more of your the ankle top I'm talking about. Like there's no cover there.
Yeah.
You're just your boot's in and your boot's not covered by anything here. The only thing keeping you in is the pressure on the bottom.
I bet you here's the
Like I guarantee you don't see any of the pros using this when they're actually
no, but what were pros using 10 years ago, and are
weren't.
those just are those step-in bindings now just as good as binding?
like to me that's a binding for someone that snowboard or like that's a binding that's marketed to someone that snowboards here and there.
And who are you?
Oh, hear me out. I knew this was coming.
I know.
But
I
that's
saw
just-
you slowing down.
But that's just no. But it's someone that it's marketed to people that snowboard here and there and like want to keep up with their group, but they don't like snowboard like hard. It's the same as the
Oh.
flows.
Maybe that's what they're marketed
They
for,
are.
but they're better than flow bindings.
Everyone I've seen at Mammoth with those bindings, then I watched them on the hill, and they're not fantastic snowboarders. Like anyone who's like a really good snowboarder has a traditional binding.
so
that
it's
they
an
ratchet.
image thing for you.
No, it's not even an image thing. It's just I feel like you have less control with those bindings. There's there's a reason you won't like next time you watch the X Games. Tell me if anyone's using those bindings if they're ratcheting down.
I know,
actual-
but you're not gonna go on the X Games.
Okay, news, events, and media. Mammoth opening day, November 15th. December 21st. That's a big gap, Ryan, but we're going to be happy that you're going to come back and visit. Colorado early season, San Juan's. I don't know what that means.
Do you want to see this?
That is it Spanish?
Ooh.
All right, we got
Some Beautiful.
November powder skiing.
Not strap-in bindings. Notice.
Do you think this guy's wearing a helmet?
Probably for the GoPro view.
Yes.
It should be.
Doesn't that look insane for November conditions?
How thin do you
Colorado
think it
always
is?
gets these amazing storms where it's like they're skiing in October and November, but yeah, that's pretty impressive. That looks
Outrageously
amazing.
fun.
What is up with these cuts? Is it cutting out the frosty part?
What do you mean?
Watch. There's happening more at the top.
That might just be like edited.
Yeah.
wow.
So pretty good in
Cody,
Colorado,
sir.
early season. What else? Other news, media.
There's a premiere. Warren Miller 75 premiere. Christmas Carol at the South Coast Repertoire. Christmas Boat Parade. That's going to be tight. Christmas Boat Parade.
December
Newport
18th,
Harbor.
opening night. I know that's your birthday, so you probably have other plans, but if you do want to come down,
I don't have any plans for my birthday as of yet.
Oh, we should go to the boat
You should
parade. We
come
should
to
go
the boat
somewhere
parade.
for dinner,
Yeah.
dude.
I don't know. I don't really. I mean, do you guys really celebrate birthdays anymore? I
Hell
don't really
yeah,
celebrate
dude. I go out to a nice ass
birthday
dinner for my
month,
birthday.
dude.
No. I
I
mean,
mean, you don't like treat yourself to like a nice ass dinner on your birthday or like close to it?
no,
We do.
I don't think birthdays matter to me anymore. Like, they matter to my wife. She uses my birthday as like an excuse to do something grand.
You
But
should use
it-
your
it
birthday
doesn't-
as an excuse to do something you want to do.
To treat yourself.
yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I'll have a good day. I don't. Is it
It's a
on
Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be off. But I'll probably be down for the boat parade.
We should go
Okay.
we should do a dinner beforehand.
Yeah, should eat some bomb ass food somewhere.
Yeah.
It'd be super fun.
Down.
A teppanyaki place so somebody can flip shrimp into your mouth.
There will be no shrimp being flipped into my mouth. I'm going to Senor Tadpoles. I'm gonna have a margarita made in my mouth.
All right,
Spring
should we
break.
save the quintessential surf movies for?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm so done with this.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Ryan, before we end it, we need your prediction, your snowfall
Oh,
prediction.
I said 420.
420. It's a good
Figures.
choice.
That's an excellent thing.
All
All right.
right.